So the question that we had come through for this week, the reference comes from the text Bhagavad-Gita, chapter 11, verse 37. Brahman is the primal cause for this world, just as a rope is for the illusory snake. And the rope is not the cause for the snake. So these are two quotes from the commentary, and the question is reconcile. Okay, so let's first of all just have a look at the commentary in a larger context. He says, the Supreme God is the primal cause for this world, just as the rope is the primal cause for an illusory snake projected upon it. But no cause and effect relationship actually exists between them. The rope is not the cause for the snake, yet without the rope, no snake can emerge from it. Okay, so let's first of all just look at this rope-snake analogy that he's talking about here. The story goes that there is a rope coiled up at the bottom of a tree. A young boy enters into the yard at, say, twilight, and he's walking across the yard and sees at the base of a tree a snake coiled up. He runs inside, terrified, and says to his father, Father, there's a snake outside. And the father says, what does it look like? Well, it's probably about 6 feet long, maybe a few inches thick, and it's sort of a light brown colour. Now the father knows that there's a rope coiled at the bottom of the tree with exactly those characteristics. So what's happened? The rope exists in reality, but it's not seen as a rope by the boy. Now we call this non-apprehension, the not seeing. After the boy non-apprehends the rope, he then misapprehends it as a snake. He mistakes it for a snake. So you have these three things: the existence of the rope in reality, the non-apprehension of the rope as it is, and then the mistaking or the misapprehension of the rope as a snake. So let's go back to what he says. The rope is the primal cause for an illusory snake. Without the rope, no snake can emerge from it. Now, that makes perfect sense. Without the rope, there can't be a snake. If there was nothing coiled at the bottom of that tree, then the boy wouldn't see a snake. There has to be a rope first. And so it makes sense to then say that the rope is the primal cause for an illusory snake. Primal cause. Now keep that phrase in mind. But let's look at the other aspect of the commentary. He says no cause and effect relationship actually exists between them. The rope is not the cause for the snake. And we'll see here the word cause is in inverted commas. So, what does this mean? The mere presence of a rope does not guarantee the existence of a snake. And again, you'll see the word snake here is in inverted commas. Think of the word snake when it's in inverted commas as perception of a snake. So there's no guarantee that just because there's a rope, you'll see a snake. Or put it another way, there's no causal pathway between rope and snake. There's no direct link. Put it another way, the rope is not responsible for the snake. So when we use this word cause, what do we mean by it? Perhaps we can think of the example of a seed and a tree. The apple seed is the cause of the apple tree. There's a direct pathway. The seed is responsible for the apple tree. But the rope is not the cause of the snake in the same way. What is the cause of the snake? Or let's think of it another way. What is the creator of the snake? Well, the creator of the snake is non-apprehension. The snake is the thing that is created. That's the misapprehension. What's the cause for it? Non-apprehension. That, if you like, is the seed out of which the snake has grown. And interestingly, in the Indian tradition, this non-apprehension of reality is personified. There's a personification of non-apprehension as Brahma. So, because there's no direct pathway between rope and snake, because the rope is not responsible for the snake, it also makes sense to say that the rope is not the cause for the snake. And so this is where we get this apparent contradiction. So the rope is the primal cause of its own non-apprehension, which then gives rise to the misapprehension of the snake. And so this idea of non-apprehension also comes forth as a womb. In fact, there is this phrase elsewhere in the Gita, womb of Brahma. So what is this non-apprehension? How is it likened to a womb? As an environment, it is darkness. It's not seeing. You don't apprehend the rope as a rope. There's non-seeing, it's darkness. If you like, as a substance, it provides the potential for whatever comes next. The substance of that non-apprehension allows for a snake. And it's creative as its function. Non-apprehension is that which creates the misapprehension of the snake. And so we take that analogy and we apply it to the world that you experience. Just as we say there's a rope, it's non-apprehended as a rope and it's seen instead as a snake, there exists some fundamental reality. It's not seen as it is. This is non-apprehension of the reality. It is mistaken as all this. And this phrase, all this, comes from one of the Upanishads. It means all of this expression, all of this manifestation. So everything that we experience, perceptions, emotions and thoughts, waking, dream and deep sleep, this is the misapprehension. This is the snake. There is an underlying reality. Now that underlying reality is not directly the cause of the illusory world that we experience, but it is the primal cause. So we've got this distinction between cause and primal cause. Primal cause, there's no direct causal link between it and the misapprehension. That requires the cause of non-apprehension. So the cause of the snake is not apprehending it as a rope. The primal cause of the snake is the rope itself. The cause of the illusory world that we see is non-apprehension of it. Brahma, the creator. The primal cause of the world that we see is Brahman, the reality. So if we go back to the original question now. Brahman is the primal cause for this world, just as a rope is for the illusory snake. The rope is not the cause for the snake. Reconcile. We reconcile this by understanding the difference between cause and primal cause. The cause exists, if you like, in the realm of the snake. The primal cause does not. So this kind of verse is getting us to question this fundamental mystery of why is there something instead of nothing? The idea of there being a snake requires both a creator of that snake and a beholder of it. And in the example, of course, the creator of the snake is the boy. He creates it out of his own imagination in that womb of non-apprehension. And he is also the one who beholds it. It is him who sees it and reacts to it. And so in that sense, the creator and the beholder are one. Take that analogy to this entire phenomenon of existence that you experience. Who is the creator of it? Who is the agent whose action, if you like, brings about this illusory world? And who is the beholder? Who is the one whose awareness holds this illusory world and sees it and witnesses it? This is the kind of inward self-reflection that this verse is promoting in us. So ask this question: who is the creator? Who is the beholder of all that I see, of all that I feel, and all that I think?